Ever wondered what happens when automakers completely miss the mark? Today we're counting down the absolute worst cars that nobody wants to buy. These aren't just bad cars, they're reliability nightmares with such terrible reputations that dealerships couldn't give them away. From transmissions that fail before your first oil change to electronics that seem possessed, these automotive disasters destroyed consumer trust and tanked sales numbers. I've analyzed Consumer Reports data, sales figures, and owner complaints to bring you the definitive list of automotive failures. Some of these might be sitting in your neighbor's driveway right now, silently waiting to break down. Others might even be tempting you with their rock-bottom used prices. Trust me, there's a reason they're so cheap. Let's start the countdown with number 30. Number 30, Yugo GV, 1986 to 1991. The Yugo GV has earned its place in automotive history as perhaps the worst car ever sold in America. Priced at just $3,990, it was marketed as an affordable option for budget-conscious buyers. But as owners quickly discovered, you definitely got what you paid for. The Yugo's 1.1-liter engine was barely powerful enough to get out of its own way, and timing belt failures were so common that mechanics recommended replacement every 20,000 miles. Electrical systems failed constantly, with alternators and starters having the lifespan of a mayfly. Interior pieces literally broke off in owners' hands. Door handles, visors, you name it. Sales started strong with over 35,000 units in 1987, but word spread quickly about its abysmal quality. By 1990, Yugo sold fewer than 1,400 cars before the brand collapsed entirely. The Yugo became such a punchline that even comedians couldn't resist mocking it. One popular joke asked, "How do you double the value of a Yugo? Fill the gas tank." Number 29, Pontiac Aztek, 2001 to 2005. Before Breaking Bad made it famous, the Pontiac Aztek was already infamous, but not in a good way. Often called the ugliest car ever made, the Aztek's bizarre styling only hinted at the problems lurking underneath. The 3.4-liter V6 engine was notorious for blown head gaskets and intake manifold leaks that allowed coolant to mix with oil, a death sentence for any engine. Transmission failures were common, with owners reporting erratic shifting even in low-mileage vehicles. The electrical system was a nightmare, with malfunctioning gauges, random warning lights, and power accessories failing regularly. Pontiac expected to sell 75,000 Azteks annually, but barely managed 27,000 in its first year. By 2005, sales had plummeted to fewer than 6,000, and GM mercifully pulled the plug. Even with heavy discounts, dealerships struggled to move them off the lot. The Aztek combined awful reliability with bizarre looks, creating a perfect storm of automotive failure. Number 28, Chevrolet Aveo, 2004 to 2011. The Chevy Aveo proves that cutting corners to produce a budget car often results in a reliability disaster. This GM Daewoo creation was positioned as an affordable subcompact, but owners paid the price in constant repairs. The Aveo's timing belt became infamous for snapping well before the recommended replacement interval, causing catastrophic engine damage. Even worse, the headlight modules were prone to overheating, melting, and even catching fire, prompting GM to recall 218,000 vehicles. Transmission failures were common, especially in early automatic models, and cheap suspension components wore out prematurely, causing alignment issues. Initial sales were decent, driven by fleet purchases and budget-conscious buyers, but the Aveo's reputation quickly tanked. By the end of its run, consumers looking for reliable transportation had already moved on to Toyota, Honda, or Hyundai alternatives. The Aveo became the car nobody wanted, forcing Chevy to replace it with the Sonic in 2012. Number 27, Land Rover Range Rover Evoque, 2012. The Range Rover Evoque proves that stunning looks can hide serious reliability issues. Land Rover's stylish compact SUV turned heads when it launched in 2012, but it didn't take long for owners to experience the brand's notorious reliability problems. Early Evoques suffered from transmission troubles, with the 6-speed automatic hesitating and sometimes failing completely. The 4-wheel drive system caused uneven tire wear and produced strange noises from the differential. Electronic gremlins were common. Stuck panoramic sunshades, unresponsive door locks, and frequent check engine lights plagued owners. Even worse, some models were recalled for faulty brake calipers that reduced stopping power. Despite its fashionable appearance, Evoque sales never matched its popularity on Instagram. After initial sales of around 11,000 units in 2012, numbers gradually declined to just 4,000 to 5,000 annually as word spread about its reliability issues. The Evoque became what industry insiders call a looker, not a keeper, admired from afar but avoided by informed buyers. Number 26, Land Rover Discovery Sport, 2015. If you thought Land Rover might have learned from the Evoque's problems, the Discovery Sport proved otherwise. Introduced in 2015, this compact SUV continued the brand's tradition of combining luxury with poor reliability. Its turbocharged 2.0-liter engine frequently triggered check engine lights due to turbocharger failures and coolant leaks. The 9-speed ZF automatic transmission, shared with the problem-prone Jeep Cherokee, suffered from rough shifts and required multiple software updates. Electronics failures were constant. Backup cameras glitched, parking sensors malfunctioned, and the infotainment system was sluggish and crash-prone. Some vehicles were even recalled for leaking fuel lines that posed a fire risk. Despite the prestige of the Land Rover badge, Discovery Sport sales remained modest at just 7,000 to 9,000 units annually. Competing against reliable alternatives like the Lexus NX and BMW X3, it lagged far behind. The Discovery Sport became a niche product for die-hard Land Rover enthusiasts willing to overlook its many flaws. Number 25, Smart for Two, 2014. The Smart for Two seems like a brilliant idea for crowded cities until you actually drive drive one. This tiny two-seater promised efficient urban transportation, but delivered a package of quirky failures instead. The single-clutch automated manual transmission was a disaster, delivering jerky shifts by design, but also failing frequently. Many owners experienced gearbox control unit faults that left their cars stuck in park. The tiny engine suffered from failing camshaft position sensors, causing no starts, and weak motor mounts led to excessive vibration. Build quality was poor, with interior trim rattling constantly and plastic body panels fading in the sun. Smart 4.2 sales peaked at about 24,000 in 2008, but dropped dramatically to around 10,000 by 2014. By 2017, fewer than 1,200 were sold as the brand prepared to exit the US market. Americans simply weren't interested in a tiny, unreliable car with just two seats, making the 4.2 one of the least popular vehicles of its time. If you're finding value in this breakdown of automotive disasters, hit the subscribe button to catch our weekly deep dives into the cars that deserve your attention and the ones that don't. Number 24. Dodge Caliber, 2007 to 2012. The Dodge Caliber replaced the Neon with what looked like a fresh approach, but quickly proved to be a reliability nightmare that customers actively avoided. Its CVT transmission was both unrefined and prone to failure, with many owners facing expensive repairs when the belt or converter gave out. The 2.0 and 2.4-liter engines developed leaking head gaskets and oil consumption issues. Build quality was abysmal. Interior trim pieces would fall off, and electrical problems were rampant. Some models were recalled for sticky gas pedals and faulty wiring that could cause engine fires. The Caliber sold about 75,000 units in its launch year, but sales declined each year after as its reputation spread. By 2011, Dodge was selling fewer than 35,000, with many going to rental fleets. Poor reviews and word-of-mouth warnings about its reliability issues steered retail buyers away, making the Caliber one of those cars consumers actively avoided. Number 23. Ford Focus, PowerShift models, 2012 to 2016. The 2012 Ford Focus looked promising with its European styling and handling, but one critical flaw destroyed its reputation: the infamous PowerShift dual-clutch transmission. Owners experienced shuddering, grinding noises, slipping, and complete transmission failures, often within the first 20,000 miles. Ford's software fixes rarely solved the problems, and many owners had multiple clutch replacements under warranty. The Focus also had recalls for door latches that could fly open while driving and fuel system issues causing engine stalls. Initially selling over 200,000 units in 2012, Focus sales dropped to just 113,000 by 2018 as transmission problems became public through lawsuits and media coverage. Ford eventually ended Focus sales in North America after 2018, and used models became nearly unsellable without heavy discounts. The PowerShift transmission transformed the Focus from a bestseller to a cautionary tale. Number 22. Jeep Compass, first generation, 2007 to 2016. The first-gen Jeep Compass proved that even the storied Jeep name couldn't overcome poor engineering and reliability issues. Built during a troubled period for Chrysler, the Compass quickly earned a spot on used cars to avoid lists. Its 2.4-liter engine and CVT transmission were a problematic combination, with the CVT prone to premature failure and overheating on long drives. Front suspension components and ball joints wore out so quickly that many needed replacement before 50,000 miles. Water leakage into the cabin was common due to poor door and sunroof seals, and interior pieces were known to break off during normal use. The Compass sold poorly to retail customers, with much of its volume going to rental fleets. By 2016, U.S. sales were only around 33,000, dismal compared to compact SUV competitors. Car and Driver famously called it unsuitable for anyone, and its reputation for constant repairs drove away potential buyers. Jeep had to completely reinvent the Compass to shed its terrible reputation. Number 21. Cadillac ATS, 2013. Cadillac's BMW 3 Series fighter launched with high hopes but quickly disappointed with reliability problems that dragged down the brand's reputation. The high-tech CUE infotainment system was the biggest complaint. Unresponsive touchscreens in system crashes often required warranty replacement of the entire unit. The 2.0-liter turbo engine in early models suffered from severe vibration and stalling, while battery drain problems left owners stranded with dead batteries for no apparent reason. Other issues included water leaks into tail lamps and failing HVAC blower motors. ATS sales peaked at around 38,000 in 2013, but fell sharply each year, dropping under 20,000 by 2015. Entry luxury buyers were turned off by reports of CUE system failures and reliability concerns. With Cadillac's image in flux and stiff competition from European and Japanese rivals, the ATS struggled throughout its life. By 2019, it was discontinued, a victim of its poor reliability and falling sales. Number 20. Cadillac Escalade, 2015. The 2015 Escalade was meant to be Cadillac's flagship luxury SUV, but instead became known for terrible reliability that sent potential buyers to competitors. The new Escalade arrived with untested tech that caused numerous problems. Faulty magnetic ride suspension components caused rough rides and vibrations, while the CUE infotainment system frequently froze or failed completely. Electrical issues affected everything from power running boards to cameras and sensors. Some vehicles experienced transmission failures or harsh shifting, and others had engine stalling due to fuel pump control module issues. The Escalade typically sells around 30,000 units annually, but the 2015 model's launch was hampered by quality concerns. Some buyers delayed purchase or switched to the GMC Yukon Denali, which which seemed to have fewer tech problems. Avoid early build Escalades became common advice in luxury SUV circles, marking this model year as one to steer clear of. Number 19. Volvo XC90, 2016. The redesigned 2016 Volvo XC90 won design awards but lost reliability contests, dragging Volvo to the bottom of Consumer Reports brand rankings with a score of just 22 out of 100. The new Sensus infotainment system proved particularly problematic, with screens freezing or going blank and requiring resets. Power tailgates would open or close unexpectedly due to faulty control modules, and the integrated radar and camera sensors for safety features malfunctioned regularly. Suspension noise, premature brake wear, and even improperly configured airbags led to numerous recalls and service bulletins. The XC90 initially sold well with around 30,000 units in the US in 2016, but sales fell to about 20,000 annually in subsequent years. While Volvo's safety reputation remained strong, reliability concerns kept many families looking at more dependable alternatives from Lexus, Acura, or Audi. The XC90's first-year reliability issues earned it a caution tag among informed consumers. Number 18. Tesla Model X 2016. Tesla's revolutionary Model X SUV wowed with its falcon wing doors and massive touchscreen, but early models suffered from reliability issues that landed it on Consumer Reports' least reliable vehicle list. The headline-grabbing falcon wing doors were also the source of most problems. Sensors misread obstacles or the doors failed to seal properly, leading to water leaks. The massive panoramic windshield often developed air leaks or stress cracks. Early Model X vehicles also experienced issues with the center touchscreen freezing, and build quality problems like wind noise, rattling trim, and misaligned body panels were common. As a high-end luxury EV starting at over $90,000, the Model X was never meant to be a mass-market vehicle. Tesla sold about 18,000 annually in the US, but some potential buyers were deterred by well-publicized reliability problems. Consumer Reports initially refused to recommend the Model X due to these issues, making it one of Tesla's slower-selling models despite its innovative design. Number 17. Alfa Romeo Stelvio, 2018. Alfa Romeo's entrance into the luxury SUV market brought Italian style and driving dynamics, along with Italian reliability problems that kept most buyers away. The Stelvio shared many components with the troubled Giulia sedan, including its reliability issues. Owners frequently complained about non-functional remote start, randomly illuminated warning lights, and failing backup cameras. Engine oil leaks and problems with the brake-by-wire system led to recalls, and climate control blend motors often failed, causing loss of cabin heat. The Stelvio essentially combined exhilarating performance with an Italian appetite for repairs. Sales figures tell the story. The Stelvio sold only a few thousand units annually in the US, peaking at around 12,000. Despite competing in the booming luxury crossover segment, the Stelvio remained a niche choice for driving enthusiasts willing to overlook reliability concerns. Alfa Romeo's limited dealer network and low brand recognition didn't help either, cementing the Stelvio's place as one of the least popular luxury SUVs. Number 16. Alfa Romeo Giulia, 2017. Alfa Romeo's return to the US market with the Giulia sedan generated excitement among enthusiasts, but the brand's notorious reliability quickly dampened that enthusiasm. The 2017 Giulia suffered from electrical system failures, including random warning lights and non-functioning displays. Software glitches affected the DNA drive mode selector and infotainment system, often requiring resets. Mechanical issues included leaky seals and engine misfires, and some early Giulias needed complete infotainment head unit replacements. Build quality problems like misaligned panels and interior rattles added to owners' frustrations. Alfa Romeo sold only about 12,000 Giulias in the US in its best year, with numbers declining in subsequent years. While critics praised its performance and handling, buyers stayed away due to reliability fears that early owner experiences confirmed. Competing against established players like the BMW 3 Series and Audi A4, the Giulia became the car that enthusiasts admired, but few actually purchased. You're watching our countdown of the 30 worst cars nobody buys. If you're enjoying this insider look at automotive disasters, tap that subscribe button to join our community of car enthusiasts. Number 15. Jaguar F-Pace, 2017. Jaguar's first SUV, the F-Pace, launched to critical acclaim, but quickly developed a reputation for reliability problems that kept it from challenging segment leaders. Early F-Pace models suffered from electrical and software malfunctions. The in-control touch infotainment system frequently froze or rebooted, Bluetooth phone pairing often failed, and check engine lights for sensor or emissions faults were common. Some owners encountered leaking sunroofs and faulty rear differentials. Jaguar issued recalls to update instrument cluster software that could go blank and to fix fuel lines that could leak. The F-Pace became Jaguar's best-selling model globally, but US sales remained modest at around 15,000 units annually. Many premium buyers were deterred by Jaguar's quality reputation, as Land Rover Bosch Jaguar consistently ranked among the least reliable brands in Consumer Reports surveys. The F-Pace sold far less than competing SUVs like the Porsche Macan or BMW X3, largely due to concerns about long-term reliability. Number 14. Nissan Titan XD, 2016. Nissan's attempt to challenge Detroit's truck dominance with the second-generation Titan XD stumbled due to reliability issues and confusion about its market position. Early Titans earned poor reliability marks, especially the Cummins diesel XD model. Owners reported fuel system and turbocharger problems, with some trucks experiencing engine bay fires that prompted a recall. Both gasoline and diesel Titans had complaints about rear axle failures and differential problems, causing whining noises. Smaller issues included faulty parking sensors, poorly sealed headlights that fogged with moisture, and persistent drivetrain vibrations. The Titan never gained traction in the fiercely loyal truck market. In 2017, Nissan sold around 52,000 Titans, but by 2020, sales had fallen to roughly half that. Pickup buyers were skeptical of Nissan's reliability and dealer network for heavy-duty use, and early quality issues reinforced that skepticism. The Titan XD's awkward positioning, neither a true heavy-duty nor as affordable as a half-ton, also confused potential buyers. Faced with dismal sales, Nissan has decided to discontinue the Titan entirely. Number 13. Dodge Journey 2009 to 2019. The Dodge Journey proved that leaving a vehicle essentially unchanged for a decade while competitors evolve is a recipe for sales disaster. Introduced in 2009, the Journey never shook its reputation as an unreliable, outdated crossover. Early models suffered from premature brake wear, electrical problems affecting interior lights and alarms, and HVAC failures, especially in rear air conditioning units. The 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine was underpowered and prone to head gasket failures. Multiple recalls addressed ignition switch defects that could shut off the engine while driving and airbag sensor problems. While the Journey initially sold in moderate numbers, often to rental fleets due to its low price, retail buyers increasingly avoided it. By the late 2010s, U.S. sales had dwindled to around 74,000 in 2018 and far less in 2019. Consumers opted for more modern rivals with better reliability records, forcing Dodge to finally discontinue the Journey in 2020. Its poor reliability, lack of updates, and fleet vehicle stigma made it one of the least beloved midsize SUVs on the market. Number 12. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid 2017. The plug-in Pacifica Hybrid minivan promised innovation but delivered reliability nightmares, earning the worst possible score in Consumer Reports' reliability survey, just 14 out of 100. This minivan's complex hybrid system led to frequent breakdowns, electrical system failures, stalling while in motion due to transmission control module faults, and charging system problems were common complaints. More alarming were recalls for fire risks. Overheating in the battery pack or auxiliary heater could lead to vehicle fires, prompting warnings for owners to park outside until repairs were made. With multiple major recalls and part shortages, many owners faced long waits for repairs. The Pacifica Hybrid sales remained a fraction of the regular Pacificas, despite tax incentives for plug-in vehicles. Families were understandably wary after hearing reports of vans stalling on highways and fire-related recalls. The poor reliability record drove many potential customers to Toyota and Honda minivans instead, leaving the Pacifica Hybrid a slow seller despite its innovative powertrain. Number 11. Chrysler 200 2015. The redesigned 2015 Chrysler 200 was supposed to revitalize the brand's midsize sedan offerings, but instead became one of the fastest automotive flops in recent memory. The 200's 9-speed automatic transmission was the primary culprit. Owners reported harsh or delayed shifting, transmissions that hunted through gears, or even slipped into neutral unexpectedly. Some cars needed complete transmission replacements within months. A major recall addressed engine stalling caused by an electrical connector that could shut off the car while driving. Infotainment freezes and interior quality issues were also common complaints. After a major marketing push, the 200 sales collapsed as word of its problems spread. Chrysler sold around 177,000 units in 2015, but by 2017, sales had plummeted below 20,000 before the model was killed. Even FCA's CEO publicly admitted the 2000 was a failure. The combination of terrible reliability and a declining midsize sedan market made the 2000 toxic on dealer lots, truly a worst car that nobody buys. Number 10. Mercedes-Benz S-Class 2014 W222. Even the flagship of the Mercedes lineup isn't immune to reliability problems, as the 2014 S-Class demonstrated with its complex electronics and air suspension issues. The 2014 redesign introduced cutting-edge technology like magic body control suspension, but many components proved troublesome. Owners experienced problems with the Airmatic suspension, including leaks or compressor failures that caused the car to sag. Self-closing doors and seat controls malfunctioned, and the advanced driver assistance systems often had sensor failures. Mercedes issued recalls for faulty seatbelt pretensioners and active suspension software glitches. The S-Class is a low-volume luxury car with a few thousand sold annually in the US, but the 2014 model's issues made some loyal buyers hesitate. Early adopters encountered enough problems that the model's legendary reputation took a hit. While still the segment leader, it saw slower sales growth than expected for a redesigned flagship, as even wealthy buyers sometimes avoided the 2014 model year until Mercedes addressed the bugs. Number 9. Infiniti Q50 2014. Infinity's attempt to rebrand its popular G-Series as the Q50 brought new technology but also reliability headaches that tarnished its reputation. The first-year Q50 introduced several new systems that proved problematic. The drive-by-wire steering system would occasionally shut off, reverting to backup mechanical steering, a frightening experience that led to a recall. Owners also also reported frozen or blank infotainment screens, malfunctioning navigation and Bluetooth, and premature wear of the expensive run-flat tires. Initially drawing interest as the replacement for the popular G37, the Q50's technology complaints led to lukewarm owner satisfaction. U.S. sales never matched its predecessors, and luxury buyers increasingly gravitated toward the more reliable Lexus YS/ES or Acura TLX. As a result, Q50 sales stagnated around 30,000 per year and then declined, failing to become a top choice in its segment due to reliability concerns from the outset. Number 8. Jeep Grand Cherokee EcoDiesel, 2014. The 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee EcoDiesel promised better fuel economy but delivered a reliability nightmare, especially after being caught in the diesel emission scandal. The EcoDiesel model suffered from engine and emission system failures. Owners frequently saw check engine lights, DEF, diesel exhaust fluid system errors, clogged EGR valves, and even engine stalling. FCA had to recall the EcoDiesel Grand Cherokee after it was found to violate emission standards, and the required updates often further hurt performance. Numerous other recalls addressed alternator fires and ignition switch issues. Diesel engines were already a niche choice in the Grand Cherokee lineup, and the string of problems crushed any potential success. A stop sale order in 2017 due to emissions violations was the final blow. Buyers looking for efficiency in an SUV turned to hybrid or gasoline alternatives as the EcoDiesel's reliability reputation tanked. It became a slow seller and was eventually discontinued, a textbook case of a model nobody buys because of its mechanical headaches. Number 7. Dodge Dart, 2013. The Dodge Dart was supposed to be Chrysler's triumphant return to the compact car segment, but instead became one of the quickest failures in recent automotive history. Models with a 1.4-liter multi-air turbo engine and dual-clutch transmission reported rough shifting, stalling, and computer glitches. Faulty transmission control modules and oxygen sensor failures were common, triggering constant check engine lights. The 2013 Dart was recalled for unexpected engine stalling due to software errors and for brake booster leaks that could affect stopping power. Despite being positioned as Dodge's answer to compact segment leaders, the Dart sold poorly from the start. Its reputation for constant problems and an underpowered base engine turned buyers away. Even massive rebates couldn't move inventory. By 2016, annual U.S. sales barely topped 25,000, and Dodge pulled the plug after just 4 years on the market. The Dart became known as the car to Dodge, one of the least purchased models in its class, largely because of its reliability woes. We're now approaching the worst of the worst in our countdown. If you're finding this information valuable, take a second to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos on the best cars for reliability and value. Number 6. Chevrolet Cruze, first generation, 2011. The first generation Chevy Cruze was meant to prove that American companies could build competitive compact cars, but early models developed a reputation for serious reliability issues. The 2011 to 2013 Cruze with a 1.4-liter turbo engine suffered numerous drivetrain and engine troubles. Drive axle failures and broken shafts were reported frequently, landing the Cruze on Consumer Reports' worst list. Engine fires caused by coolant leaks prompted a large recall, and some 2011 models even left the factory with improperly installed steering wheels. Owners also reported frequent check engine lights, water pump leaks, and sensor failures. While the Cruze initially sold well, often to rental fleets, quality issues hurt its long-term popularity. Warranty repairs and negative press about engine fire risks tarnished its value proposition. By the mid-2010s, sales were declining as buyers abandoned the Cruze for more reliable competitors like the Honda Civic and Toyota Corolla. The model was discontinued in 2019, partly due to its reliability reputation and partly due to GM's strategic shift away from cars. Number 5. Mercedes-Benz CLA 250, 2014. Mercedes' attempt to attract younger buyers with the affordable CLA 250 backfired when quality and reliability issues made it clear this wasn't a typical Mercedes-Benz experience. The first-generation CLA quickly became the lowest-rated entry luxury car by Consumer Reports. Owners complained about constant rattles and squeaks in the cabin, malfunctioning electronics, and a harsh ride with excessive tire noise. The 2014 CLA was recalled for fuel system leaks and airbag sensor faults, further damaging its reputation. The CLA initially sold well as a cheap Benz, starting under $30,000, but its reputation soured as quality issues emerged. Reports of subpar build quality and frequent dealership visits undermined its image as an attainable luxury car. Sales fell after the first couple of years as many buyers opted for more reliable alternatives from Acura or Audi. The 2014 CLA became known as a model to avoid on the used market, as it failed to deliver the quality expected from the three-pointed star. Number 4. Nissan Pathfinder, 2013. The 2013 redesign of the Nissan Pathfinder traded its rugged SUV heritage for a softer crossover design and brought along devastating transmission problems that tanked its sales. The CVT transmission was the primary issue. Many 2013 to 2014 Pathfinders needed entire transmission replacements after experiencing failed torque converters or severe juddering and overheating. Nissan issued multiple service campaigns and extended the CVT warranty, but complaints persisted. Electrical gremlins triggering random warning lights, faulty liftgate struts, and leaky sunroofs added to owners' frustrations. After a strong launch, Pathfinder sales plunged by double digits as reports of transmission failures spread throughout owner forums and social media. Potential buyers were scared off by the CVT CVT's reputation for costly repairs. By 2015, Nissan rushed updates to the transmission programming, but the damage was done. Consumer trust and sales never fully recovered until a complete redesign years later. Number 3. Ford Fiesta, power shift models 2011 to 2016. The Ford Fiesta seemed like a great subcompact option until its power shift dual-clutch automatic transmission turned it into a reliability disaster that destroyed owner trust. Fiesta owners with a power shift transmission reported constant shuddering, slipping, and jerking on acceleration. Many needed clutches and control modules replaced repeatedly under warranty. Ford extended warranties and settled a class action lawsuit over the power shift gearbox, but never issued a full recall. Door latch failures that could allow doors to open while driving added to the Fiesta's troubles. While early Fiesta sales were strong, they cratered as thousands of owners experienced transmission problems and shared their stories online. By 2018 to 2019, U.S. sales were a fraction of prior years, and Ford discontinued the Fiesta after 2019. The reliability horror stories and shift in buyer preference to crossovers made this a car nobody wants, devastating demand for both new and used models. Number 2. Jeep Cherokee KL 2014. The redesigned 2014 Jeep Cherokee arrived with innovative styling and a revolutionary 9-speed automatic transmission, which turned out to be its biggest liability. The Cherokee's 9-speed automatic transmission was plagued with issues from the start. Rough shifting, slipping gears, and software glitches were rampant. Many owners experienced hard shifts or sudden loss of power. Jeep issued multiple software updates and recalls to address the transmission problems and malfunctioning electronics, including unresponsive infotainment and Bluetooth pairing issues. Though initial sales were decent, the Cherokee's reputation took a serious hit from these problems. By the late 2010s, sales declined sharply, and Jeep halted Cherokee production entirely in 2023. As word spread about unreliable drivetrains, consumers increasingly avoided the model. Strong competition in the SUV market left little room for a vehicle with such a troubled launch, making the Cherokee's decline a case study in how reliability problems can kill an otherwise compelling vehicle. Number 1. Fiat 500L, 2014 to 2016. The dubious honor of worst car goes to the Fiat 500L, a vehicle so problematic that Consumer Reports named it the least reliable car you could buy, rating it 219% worse than average reliability. The 500L was a reliability catastrophe from bumper to bumper. Owners faced failing navigation and backup camera systems, buggy audio, and a rough-shifting automatic transmission. Multiple recalls were issued for transmission failures and airbag wiring defects. Consumer Reports gave it a low road test score of just a 50 out of 100, and readers reported extremely high ownership regret. U.S. sales peaked at a modest 12,000 in 2014, then plummeted to only a few hundred units by 2018, leading Fiat to discontinue the 500L by 2020. Its ungainly styling and lack of modern safety features made it unsellable. Dealerships reported having a 523-day supply of unsold 500Ls on their lots, reflecting how demand nearly evaporated due to its terrible reputation. The 500L stands as perhaps the clearest example of a car that nobody wants to buy, not even at steep discounts. These automotive disasters share common threads: rushed development, untested technology, and companies putting profits ahead of quality control. What's fascinating is how quickly word spreads when a car develops a bad reputation. No amount of marketing or discounts can overcome the power of real owner experiences. Next time you see a suspiciously cheap used car or a new model with massive incentives, remember this list. There's usually a reason why some cars sit on dealer lots for months while others fly off the showroom floor. What car do you think deserves to be on this list? Or maybe you've owned one of these automotive disasters and have a story to share. Let me know in the comments.